Hey everybody, welcome back to the studio. Well, in this video and maybe a few after it, I want to address some of the questions that I see online and specifically some of the comments that I see and the answers supposedly to these questions. Now, I always tell people there is no stupid question. Now, there can be misled questions. There can be questions that don't address what the real problem is. But if you have a problem, you want help, and you're going to put out questions out there. The problem is on social media, it seems to be a big thing in the photography social media world, but I know it's in other areas as well, is a lot of the answers are horrible, absolutely horrible. And I attribute this a lot to people who just parrot information. They'll see somebody say, oh, well, if you're having this problem, it sounds like it is this. And it may be a perfectly good answer for that question or that problem. But somebody will take that answer and they'll start posting it everywhere for everything. An example, and I've addressed this several times, you need to buy a mirrorless camera. Every answer seems to be to a problem. You need to buy a mirrorless camera. No. You need to buy a Mac computer. No. You need to go out and buy this lens. No, none of that's the actual answer. You're just parroting what other people say. And it seems like on a lot of these Facebook groups, a lot of these blogs, that people have 5 or 10, maybe 20 people that they follow on there. And if they say something, everybody takes it as gospel. And they just continuously post that for everybody's question. So I'm going to go through some of the questions. I've removed the names. I've removed the sites. I just put them on a black screen and I just typed it out, copied and pasted in some cases. And I just put it here. I don't want to blame any group or any organization or any whatever. But I want to address some of these. And today is two of the ones that came up in the last week that I really want to address. Now, I'm going to try to do something where I can actually pull up the screens that I did here. So let's see if it works. And so far, it's working pretty good. So the first question. I am having focusing issues. I had a Canon 5D Mark IV and bought an R5 and still had the same problem. Then I bought a new lens and still have the same problem. Did I get duds? Now, from me, instantly I say, well, that question, it's probably, it's not going in the right direction. What it should have been is, what am I doing wrong? Not, should I blame my equipment? But that was the question. That they were concerned that they're having focusing issues. For some reason, it's just started. Well, it's something that they've noticed. Did they get dud cameras? They bought a new camera body, still had the issue. They bought a new lens with the new camera body. They still have issues. Well, from my point of view, it's probably not the camera. It's probably not the lens. It's probably the person taking the pictures. It's pretty straightforward. What shutter speed are you using? What ISO are you using? What aperture are you using? How are you shooting? Are you holding the camera correctly? What are you doing? That's what should have been asked. And there was a few people who asked stuff like that, and they actually got slammed. One person asked, what is the shutter speed that you're shooting at using this lens? And a person put a post right below it and says, it makes no difference what the shutter speed is. It's not going to have anything to do with how in focus the picture is. Well, if you're moving your camera, yes, it's going to be out of focus. But here's some of the responses that they actually got. So, probably a Canon issue. Okay, so autofocus on two different cameras, two different lenses, probably a Canon issue. You got duds. Okay, well, I guess they got duds. Sounds like you need a new editing computer. What does this have to do with the computer? I don't see how the computer comes into this, but okay. The next one. Are you using fast enough cards? Now, I don't know where the cards come into this either. I don't know how focus and cards are related. They didn't say that it was slow write speeds or that the camera was slowing down. They didn't say anything like that. But somebody said it's like, well, cards. Again, definitely a Canon problem. Well, okay, we know that nobody can get a good in-focus picture using Canons. Really? Seriously? Like, definitely a Canon problem? I just don't get some of these. The next set. You should have bought a Sony. Seriously? Like, you're saying with two different camera bodies, two different lenses, that another camera body, another set of lenses is going to make an improvement? I don't think so. Do you edit on a Mac or on a PC or a Mac? What? They're talking focusing issues, people. They're not talking editing problems. They're talking it's not focusing correctly. And then finally, and there was a lot more. I just picked the ones that really upset me. Finally, though, what batteries do you use? What? Seriously? What batteries do you use? What does batteries have to do with anything? And the responses don't even address the problem. The problem was they're getting out of focus pictures. The problem was they tried two different camera bodies. They tried two different lenses. They're still getting out of focus pictures. It's like going outside, getting in a car, and driving for 2 hours, and the car overheats. Then you go and you get another car, and you drive for an hour and a half, and the car overheats. And you say, well, gee, it must be the cars. Well, maybe it's the fact that you're driving in first gear and that you've just driven the thing into the ground. Maybe that's the problem. Maybe it's not the car. Maybe it's the driver. And in this case with the Focus, this is the problem. It's a focus problem. It is a shutter speed problem. Do you have it on a high enough ISO? Do you have it on autofocus, or is it on manual focus? Have you put a filter on it for some reason? Have you done something bizarre to the settings? I told this story years ago. Had a gentleman come in here and brought in a beautiful camera. I drooled over the camera and an amazing lens. Said he sent the camera away many times to get it fixed. Said he sent the lens away many times to get it fixed. And the camera and the lens together several times to get it fixed. Well, he brought it in to me so that I could fix it for him. I went, what am I going to fix? I don't know. I reset it all to factory specs and it worked. Guess what? It wasn't the camera body. It wasn't the lens. It was the way that he was shooting. And this is so many times the problem. It's not what the camera's doing. It's not what the lens is doing. It's not that you're doing this, that, or the other thing. It's that you're not focusing. You're not holding the camera. You're not setting it. Those are the things you have to address. So if you're going to ask the questions, if you're going to answer questions, make sure that we are asking the right questions and that we're giving the right answers to the questions. And don't believe everything you hear or see, because being told that it's your batteries when you're having a focus issue is not going to help anything. So I was hoping to get to another one in this video, but this one's getting pretty long. So until next time, I'll talk to you soon. Get out there and take some amazing pictures and have a great day. Bye-bye now.